Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends of the Playhouse, haters, lovers of all ages. Good evening and welcome to another edition of Monday Night Chaos. I want to say a quick hello to all the folks down there in the comment section who have nothing better to do than to be here on a Monday night, and we appreciate you for it. I am your intrepid host, the mighty Yellkaos, the immortal Yellkaos. Joining me today, my very good friend, the man, the myth, Sean Geeve, Mr. Sean Riley. Sean, say hello to the fine folks.
You forgot the beard.
What about the beard? What did I forget about the beard?
You didn't mention the beard. Hold on.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let's try that again.
No, you're good.
Sean Riley and his beard.
Goddamn right.
All right, who draws beard power through the Stone Cold Steve Austin Broken Skull Challenge and so on and so forth. But good evening and welcome to our program. We got a great big show for you today. Talking about something that came up in the news before we get too far along, before I say hello to everybody. Something that came up in the news last week on the program. Somebody, I forget who, and I kind of feel like a jerk right now, brought it to my attention, or at least asked me, Yellkaos, are you going to be attending Classic Gaming Expo 2015? And I didn't know, and I said, fuck that place, and fuck the Riviera. And now news coming out that the Riviera Las Vegas Hotel and Casino being demolished this coming summer in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I thought this would be a good time to finally get it out in the open. I know I've had a few sour things to say over the last few months about what went on at the Classic Gaming Expo last year, and I said I didn't want to bore you with the details. Well, now, sit down and get yourself a drink because I'm going to bore you with the details, and along coming with me is Mr. Sean Riley, who's going to give you his side of the story, and hopefully we can communicate why this was a disappointing weekend. And one thing that I have to say, regardless of the things I say about the goings-on at the Classic Gaming Expo, it was a monumental example of what not to do. It was an example of complacency, which is plaguing our scene to this day, and something needs to be done about that. And you know, I hope to help. So, without getting too far along, Mr. Riley.
Yes, sir.
If you want, tell the fine folks about now. What time did you guys leave on to head up to the? You went up on Friday or Saturday?
Yeah, we left Friday. I think we left we left the asshole of Southern California at about noon or 1 o'clock. I know my wife got off work at noonish, so I don't know if we left right away. I don't fucking remember. There's a lot of alcohol.
Well, that's good. It's always important to have lots of alcohol.
I know. But I know it was dark when we got there. I think. I don't even know, dude. I don't remember. I don't know if we. I don't know. We were just talking about this. I don't even remember. I remember there being stuff there and being kind of disappointed. But I don't remember if I checked in on Friday night or early Saturday morning. I think it was early Saturday morning. Now that I think about it.
Okay. Well, then in that case, see. Myself, now, you know, between us, we have a good friend, Mr. Sifik, here on YouTube.
Yep.
And Sifik, I'll tell you what happened. The week leading up, because the convention started on a Friday, which I thought was kind of a gamble, you know, in my estimation, to have something, you know, like this start, you know, on a weekday. I know it's Friday and it's Las Vegas, but, you know, I thought that was a bit of a gamble. But we were going to leave on Thursday morning. Sifik is busting my chops on Tuesday night. Dude, let's leave. We could go tomorrow. We could, like, just take the day off and let's go. I'm like, dude, I got things to do. I can't make it. Come on. And he's just hassling me that we're going to leave on Wednesday morning. And then we'll stay at the state line. And I'm like, dude, you don't know. Las Vegas will beat you into the ground. Now, of course, there was a few details missing, and I didn't get those till later, but we can talk about that in just a second. But myself and Mrs. Yellkaos, we left on Thursday morning. We launched out about 9 o'clock on Thursday morning, off to a great start, having a great time. It's a bit of a long drive. We're coming from San Diego, California, so it's about 350 miles. You know, a bit a longer drive than you guys had coming from the asshole of California over there.
You guys were coming from the taint. We were coming from the asshole.
Coming from the taint, that's right. I do apologize.
A little further south.
That's right. I do apologize. But we launched out and made it through into Barstow, and all the while trying to keep in communication with everybody, finding out where everybody is. And Sifik has got this idea that he loves Las Vegas and he's got to get there, you know, in no time. And they were there like around lunchtime. And around lunchtime, we were in Baker. And for those of you that followed the Full Metal Vegas experience a few times, Baker's a sad place, a hot place. And
All
that's
they
when
have is a thermometer.
the thermometer was open.
I know.
That's one thing that I didn't capture, and I regret not capturing. Is when we got done at the Mad Greek in Baker, ate our own food at the Mad Greek because fuck that shit, man. And we went over to the world's tallest thermometer. The world's tallest thermometer has a gift shop, and I went, and every time I've been there, which this was like the 10th time I've been there, I go and I pull on the door, and this time the door opened, and it was shocking, I tell you. Went inside, and they had T-shirts and a shot glass, and so I bought a shot glass, and then, well, that was all that there was to that. And we made our way. We got up into Las Vegas around like 4 o'clock or so, and got checked in, and things went smoothly, I'm happy to report. And then I think it was Thursday night, and Syphic said, "You got to come over here and party." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll be over there to party in a second." And I think I've pretty much, laid on the story of how the first night went, where I got very sick. I think I was poisoned between this, smelling all of the gasoline exhaust out on the strip and the lots and lots and lots and lots of perfume and cologne throughout all the hotels and the casinos. So I think I was poisoned. Huh?
Do it.
And it made me quite sick. And that kind of ruined the first night, not through any fault of the Classic Gaming Expo, but Las Vegas poisoned me. And, we tried to make the most of that evening. Didn't really work out. Friday comes along, and someone told me that there was going to be some sharks in the water. So Mrs. Yellkaos and I, we made it a point to get out to the thrift stores, forgetting that it's going to be 115 goddamn degrees outside. But we made it out to the thrift stores, found a whole bunch of nothing, and then made our way over to the Classic Gaming Expo at the Riviera. And this was on Friday afternoon. And we got there and registered. And now this is something that we're going to bring up in a second, because I was unaware there was going to be like little trinkets and little prizes. But I checked in on Friday. Mr. Riley, you did not check in until Saturday. Would you show the fine folks what you got for checking in late?
Yeah, so I showed up late, and I got this. It looks like it's a stupid arcade token. I'll show you. It looks like this. Let me get on the so you can see. It looks like this. This is the whole thing, and I'll fold it up so you can see. It says CG Las Vegas 2014, and the back it is. I guess it's digthatbox.com. They're not a sponsor of this program, but you can go there if you want to. And it's an arcade token, and you can see it's like their 5th anniversary or whatever. It's got the stolen GTA 5 logo on the front and a Space Invader on the back. It's pretty cool. I forgot that I had it. It was on a dresser that I was clearing off earlier today. So it's cool. It's still sealed. I don't know. I don't give a shit about sealed stuff, but I'm not opening this. Yeah, but that's see it. When you show up late, you get better shit than the people that show up early.
Yeah. I went through all the trouble of showing up early and walked onto the floor, and nobody was there. The sales floor. We'll talk about this in a second. But something that I think I bitched about last week on Thursday was that it seems like they had the same size convention expo that they had 2 years previous, but with a much larger building. And I thought that was a major misstep. And walked onto the sales floor. The sales floor, compared to Classic Gaming Expo 2012, was laughable. And
I think we had the best table.
Now you were there. You were there with Syphic and Lucas Inbodin and Air Force Shields, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, all them guys.
And all them guys hanging out. And I made the mistake of I thought, hey, they got a pretty good table over here. I'll come back. By the time I came back, all the cool shit was gone, and that was that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, so Friday night Friday just kind of came and went. And it was very hot out. Very hot out, obviously. It's Las Vegas.
It's fucking
and Mrs. Yellkaos and myself, we went back to our suite at the Stratosphere and got changed up and came back. And Syphic, who's not good at giving directions at all.
No, he's not.
Not
at all.
He's for those of you who don't know Syphic, if you don't follow Syphic, go ahead and give him a sub if you can find him. SYPHIC.
Yep.
Give him a sub and see what he's up to. Syphic has got this really bad habit of he starts drinking and then sends out the invites. So Syphic's telling me to, just come on up. Come on up. I'm like, come on up where?
Where?
I'm
don't know what
up
hotel you're
the
in.
street. I said, dude, you see that big space needle? I'm there. Where are you? And he says, we're in the room. Mind you, this is going on my phone, text messaging. And he says, oh, no, we're in the room. I said, what room? And then I don't hear anything. I'm like, all right. Yep. So I start making the drive over. And Mrs. Yellkaos says, where are we going? I said, I don't know.
The room?
That we're going to the room. She says, which room? I said, I don't know. I know it's at the Riviera. And already the Riviera has shown itself to be a less than comfortable accommodations.
That's
and
a
we
nice
weren't
way of
staying
putting
there.
it.
I think so. I think so. We'll get to that in a second.
Yep.
And so we finally get into the hotel, and he tells me, he just types me 4 numbers randomly. And I'm like, is this a combination to your safe? It was like 1196 or something like that. I'm like, wait a minute, is that the one in Resident Evil 2 where you punch it in and you get to have the acid rounds for the rocket launcher?
That's
well, it turns
exactly
out
what it was.
that's exactly. As it turns out, that he's in a suite in the Miramontes or some.
Oh, that was Friday night. I wasn't there.
No, you were there. You were there.
I didn't. Something happened. Continue then.
Well, yeah, you were there. I remember this now. You guys must have come in on Friday night, and this was Friday night, and finally we find our way up, and we get into the elevator, and this was the elevator that time forgot. I swear to you, it was like the elevator in like it reminded me of the elevator in the Ghostbusters game. They're just old. Like this elevator was like used to transport. You know what? I can't even make an old reference. This place was old. It was really old.
This is Studebaker's old elevator.
Yeah, this was King Kong's elevator.
There you go.
And we were going up, and the wood panel and the brass and all that stuff. We get off onto a floor, and I look to my right, and there's windows, which amazing. And one of the windows is open. Like jarred open, and I thought somebody jumped out this window because I've only been here a few minutes and I already want to jump out the window.
Just right now.
Yeah, and I didn't look outside. I'm like, I'm gonna see some shit, and then I'm gonna be a witness, and I don't want any part of that.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah. You don't want to you don't want to stand around because then you have to answer questions.
Exactly.
So I start making my way down a dark hallway. Now we're in what's supposedly the suite tower, the suites. And I find the room, and I luckily had my glasses on so I could see what was going on. And we found the room, and I go over and I knock, and I hear a bunch of muffled skirmishing conversation. It's like in Super Mario All-Stars, a bunch of people in the dark just having this muffled conversation. Mm-hmm. And I knock on the door again, and I hear somebody go, "Hey, there's a big guy outside with a vest on." And I'm like, okay, well, clearly nobody knows who I am. So no one opens the door. So then I knock again, really hard, and my wife says, "Are we at the right place?" It says, "I don't know. Prepare to defend yourself."
I know.
And then I see someone else's eye come through the peephole, and he goes, "Oh, it's this fucking guy!" And there goes Syphic, and he spills something on himself. "Hey, how you doing?" And I'm like, "All right, cool." And I'm like, all right, I'm going to get to see a suite. And I walk in, and I swear to you, I thought we were in a room in somebody's grandma's house.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. Now, and I walk in, and there's Mr. Riley, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And we're all talking.
I wasn't there.
You were there. You were there.
Not there. That was not Friday night.
That was not Friday night?
I was in their second room.
Were you not? Were you not standing? No, because you and I were on the balcony together.
I think that was Saturday.
See, you know what? You're drinking and I'm drinking, so don't argue with me.
When you walked in the room, like you walked in, there was like there was a bedroom to the right and a bar to the left.
Yes.
Okay, then that was the same room.
Yeah.
Continue.
So anyway, so I go in there and we walk outside and we're all hanging around and we're all shooting the shit and how you doing and all that stuff. And you and I are talking and you said that your wife was somewhere and I
She's at a
said, oh,
strip
all
club
right.
with her friend.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
And there's R-Rob 78. I'm like, all right, and Air Force Shields and people I know from YouTube and Lucas was there.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. And there's some people who know me. And
Lucas was fucking drunk.
Lucas was drunk.
He was drunk as fuck.
Lucas, and Lucas is a pretty stout fellow. So, which leads me to believe that he had some. And he just walks up.
Hey, he had all of it.
I'll bet. And he
had all of it.
walks right up to me with his hand stretched out. And as I'm about to say, hey, I'm Yellkaos, he goes, I'm Lucas. and then he turns and burps again on a little lady that's right next to him. He goes, this is my wife. And I met and Lucas' wife is a little bitty thing.
Yeah.
She's a sweetheart. I forget her name.
She kicked your ass, though.
And he's just, talking some shit and whatever. And we're out on the balcony, and I start telling a story. You were there about something on the balcony, and suddenly you're out there, and now me, I'm a guy of some carriage. I'm not a small man. And you come out on the balcony, and then our Rob comes out on the balcony, and then Lucas and Seifert come out on the balcony, and I can feel this thing rattling beneath us.
Yep, it creaked as soon as fucking
it was like,
Rob walked out there.
And I'm like, there's something wrong. And my wife, Mrs. Yellkaos, is one of the smartest people you'll ever come across. She did the thing that I probably should have done. She went inside.
Yeah,
she went inside.
At the time, I wondered. I was like, what happened? Does somebody smell? Where did she go? She just fucking split. And I look over, and she's sitting on the couch, and she keeps looking outside. I think she thought we were gonna end up in the pool.
That's what I think. And I says, "Hun, what are you doing?" She goes, "I'm sitting in here where it's safe."
Where it's
and
safe.
I said,
yep.
"Oh,
Yep.
fat jokes. I see what we're doing tonight. All right."
Thanks.
I get it.
Thanks.
Yeah. So we're standing outside and shouting and just having a good time, almost like there was a video game convention in town.
Almost like we were in Vegas on a weekend.
Yeah, no shit, right? And we're talking and we're having a good time, and Lucas is saying some shit, and Lucas is like, trying to feel me out if I got anything for sale, and I'm like, I know what you're gonna do. I saw you at the table, and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is a bad sign. I've got one of the sellers asking me if I've got something to sell, which goes to show that there probably wasn't much, and I'm like, this should have been a red flag. And I'm telling a story, and I'm pointing off, in the distance, and I'm pointing to that piece of shit hotel, the Clarion. Did I tell you that they demolished that hotel the other day?
Yeah, I think so.
That big sunshine, ugly piece of shit. Yeah, they demolished that, and I'm telling a story about that, and talking about all these things, and then somehow we cruise inside, and we're just hanging out, and what are we gonna do? We're gonna do this, and well, I thought we were gonna party here, and everybody's watching Law and Order, and they're listening to goddamn Hall & Oates music by the bar.
Why the fuck were we watching Law and Order?
Well,
because it was on.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because people complain about the TV in Las Vegas. They don't want you to watch the TV. They want you to get the fuck out of the room and get into the casino.
So all they have is Law and Order and Matlock.
And no, Judge Judy.
It. Oh, Judge Judy. I forgot about
Judge Judy.
And the Family Feud.
And the Family Feud, and not even the good one. With Steve. And so we're standing around, just having conversation in a suite. A place where you bring people, and usually it's probably like a rape room, but
we weren't being like overly loud.
No, we
were talking like 6 dudes having separate conversations.
Yeah, with their wives, just hanging out and about.
Just hanging out.
Before too long, and this was like at like 9:50, and you were telling me, and now you just got off the phone. Mrs. Riley is like, for some reason, in the possession of Las Vegas Metro Police.
Yeah.
And that's all I heard, and I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck's going on over here? And at like 10 minutes to 10, there's a knock at the door.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, other YouTubers. So, hey, what's going on?
And I thought it was my wife.
And that's what we thought.
I gave her the room number, and I was like, come up here, we're all hanging out.
Yeah, that's exactly the way it went down. And I thought, oh, well, bitches, all right.
Hey.
Okay, well then Mrs. Riley and whomever. And she probably took on the whole police force by herself, didn't she?
No, she was with her friend.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? She probably did take on the whole police force.
Yeah, I saw her friend, and no, I'm pretty sure Mrs. Riley handled that all by herself.
She
But
got it.
anyway, a door opens, and there's a big shiny head standing at the door with a blue shirt that says security.
Not my wife.
Not your wife. No.
Just for the
Mrs.
record.
Riley does not work at the Riviera.
No.
And,
She does not have a bald head.
Yeah, and there's some men standing outside with security on their T-shirts, and they're telling us that we're being too loud.
And it was Suge Knight and MC Hammer.
Suge Knight and MC Hammer were there telling us we're being too loud. And I look all around the room, and Lucas, who's almost passed out in the corner, but you and me, and we're all kind of connecting eyes like, is this fucking happening?
Lucas looked like that dude. Lucas looked like that dude at fucking Mike at the end of Blair Witch, standing in the corner. Just fucking.
Just like, passed out on his feet.
There. Why are you standing there?
And I thought to myself, wait a minute, are a bunch of video game nerds being told that we're being too rowdy in Las Vegas, Nevada at 10 minutes to 10 p.m. on a Friday night?
Right.
And they lay it on us that if they have to come back, or this is a warning, and if they have to come back, they're going to give us another warning. And if they have to come back to that, they're going to give us another warning. And if they have to come back after that, they're going to ask everybody who's not a hotel patron to leave. And if they have to come back again, the fifth fucking time, Syphic and his wife, they're going to have to leave.
Yeah.
And so then everybody panics. Well, what are we going to do? So we start going downstairs.
Go downstairs.
We make it to the bar where the drinks are not as cheap as they were inside the room.
But Syphic was paying, so it doesn't fucking matter.
But Syphic was paying. Syphic just wanted to see everybody drunk for one reason or another. And, that's good for him. And we went down and we had some drinks, and we're getting mad dog. The guys who are running the convention are sitting across from us, and we're getting mad dog by those people. I don't know why that was. Do you know anything about that?
Because we're loud and young, and they're pissed off.
And old.
I don't know. We don't like in television. I don't know.
That could be it. That could very well be it. And we don't wear we don't own Ferrari hats. Maybe that's what it is. But so we sat around, and then Mrs. Riley arrived and told the story about how she had been detained with Metro Police, and you don't have to tell that story if you don't want to, but I'm just picturing in my head, her taking on, Las Vegas Metro all by herself.
Those files are sealed.
Those files are sealed well within the annals
I signed an NDA also.
Oh, wow.
So I can't.
Okay, well then we can't go too far into that. But I understand the next time we're gonna have to, have her keep it down.
Yeah.
But so then we all kind of went our separate ways on Friday night. He says, "Hey, I'll see you tomorrow." All right, we'll see you tomorrow. And I go to get a good night's rest. It was best. It wasn't too early. I think it was like 2 o'clock, 2 in the morning, and Syphic still wanted a party. Isn't that correct?
Yep.
And
the party. He's not satisfied till he's fucking asleep in his own vomit.
I think it's a matter of he hasn't had a good time until he passed out before you did.
Yeah.
I really think that's what it is.
He wants dicks drawn on his face.
Well, if I had known that, man, I would have got the syringes out. My goodness, we could have.
Well, I wouldn't have been drawn. Just saying.
No, we could have.
You seen that hair? Come on, that hair.
Oh, you mean the pubic hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, now he's watching the program. He's gonna be all upset now.
He's always got a scarf on.
No, I invited him on the show and he said no. But anyway, I was gonna. But in any event, and so we made our way back for the very next day, and I figured this is gonna be huge. What I didn't know is, everybody didn't come in until like Friday night.
Yeah.
And we get there, and there's noticeably more people, but vendors on the floor had gone home.
Yes.
They just sold what they sold and had gone home. Did you not notice that?
It was, well, I only peeked in because I think I got there Friday night, like right towards the end, because they closed the sales floor. The arcade was always open, but they closed the sales floor, and I think I got there like right as they were closing up, so I didn't really get to go in and look around or anything. But I did notice that there were more on Friday night than there was on Saturday.
Which is interesting because that was supposed to be, and there were, more people in on Saturday, but by the time you walked into the arcade floor, there were machines down, as I've stressed before, and the vendors were gone, and they had a bit of a cosplay competition that like 7 people engaged in.
Yeah.
And now I'm not against the cosplay thing, you know, if that's what you're into, and there are people that work a long time. It always seems like those people really hung out like together. They didn't want to intermingle with anybody because I don't know if they were afraid we were going to wipe chocolate on them or something. I don't know. It seems like, you know, all the people who were on YouTube were kind of in one corner, and no one wanted anything to do with us.
Yep.
And that's fine. I don't want anything to do with them either.
Yep.
And the whole thing just kind of seemed like really strung together, as if, you know, they were just trying to cover all the bases of this is how you do a game convention, and that seems like a really crummy idea.
Yeah.
And then after that, later that night, Mrs. Yellkaos and I went back to the Stratosphere to get cleaned up. What did you guys do on Saturday? You guys went to the Pepper Mill and the Circus, right?
Yeah.
And without me.
Oh, well.
Which pissed me off because you dicks, I'm the one that told you about that shit.
To be completely honest, Friday night was the first time I had met you. So it wasn't that invitation couldn't have been extended for me. You know what I mean? Because not only that, but I'm the one that told Seifig about all this shit, and then he went and did all of it without me. Oh, yeah, he's a dick. That's what he does. Yeah, Saturday we hung out at the fucking at the convention most of the day. Then we went to the Peppermill. Yeah, that place is cool.
Yeah, no, that was half the fun of the Vegas trip right there.
You know what? That's the night. You know what? That's the night Mrs. Riley went to the strip club. That's the night she wasn't with us. It wasn't Friday. Yeah, right. That's for sure. Because she was pissed off at me because fucking I thought that because they went over to what's it over there on the Fremont. Did they go to Fremont? Yeah, they went to Fremont and they were gonna go to strip club, and I was gonna go over there with our Rob 78, and then he decided not to go at the last minute. So she was texting me, "Where are you?" And I don't have a ride. I'm not fucking walking over there. So yeah. And then we went to the Peppermill. And I don't think we went to Circus. I think we hung out at the Peppermill, and then we went back to the Riviera, and we were at that little tiki bar.
Okay, that's right. And we went to go get cleaned up.
Right outside the lobby. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to go get cleaned up, and we came back, and I go to try and get back to Seifik's room. He didn't tell me that you guys went to some other room. So then another fucking a 4-pin combination comes through my phone. I'm like, okay, what's this one for? And he tells me, oh yeah, go over here. Well, I start going towards the other room where he was. Little did I know that this hotel room is all the way on the other goddamn side of the building.
Yeah. The other tower.
Yeah, finally find our way up, and we get up there, and there's this strange room, and now we're on this floor that is pitch black. I feel like I'm in the 7th Resident Evil game. The carpet smells, and I'm like, what the now I'm thinking, where's my knife? Because these guys are like going to ambush me or something. Where's my knife? And, I'm telling Janine, walk behind me just in case. Because, like, the walls have, like, outdoor light fixtures, like, made of wrought iron. And the walls are stuccoed indoors. I've never seen that before. I've seen all kinds of architectural marvels. I have never seen stucco indoors in a hallway. Blue stucco, mind you. Baby blue stucco. And somebody thought this was a good idea. And I come to the room, and there's a double door, and there's like this much of a gap between the door and the floor.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I mean, I don't even know why I know I could knock. I could just put my foot right through this. And I knock, like I do. I try and be a cordial individual. I try my very hardest to be, cordial and polite and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone believes that, right?
Yeah. No.
The 10,000 fans in 3-part harmony. Bullshit!
Bullshit!
But, so I knock on the door, and it gets quiet inside, and I see an eye come through the peephole. And like, hey, there's some guy with a vest on. As I had the vest on again. Hey, there's somebody out there, and who is it? Like I can't hear through the fucking door. The doors are like paper thin. And I said, it's fucking Yellkaos from the Hate Bit podcast. And, well, they opened the door. Apparently that was the calling card that got the door open.
That's what it
And
was.
then standing before me is this big fucking hairy motherfucker. It's Berman from 8-Bit Artillery. I'm like, I know who this is. And I go in and I say hello to everybody and shit. And I'm like, all right, cool, everybody's in here. And I said, Berm, this room sucks. And he says, how's your Dr. Mario game? I says, not so good. Mrs. Yellkaos, on the other hand, could kick your ass. He took that as a challenge. Mrs. Yellkaos gets on the NES and starts whipping everybody's ass at Dr. Mario.
Yeah, she kicked the shit out of me, too.
Yeah, you got up
kicked
there.
The shit out of me.
Yeah, and
I was like, I got this.
Up there.
I got this, and she fucking kicked my fucking ass.
Yeah, and Berman got up there, and he got knocked down, and I think everybody went against Mrs. Yellkaos and got knocked down.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn, it feels good to be a gangster. You know, you got
we kicked her off. We kicked her off so me and Air Force Shields could play fucking Manhattan Project.
Yeah, and then there was some comments about the first Ninja Turtles game, and Mrs. Yellkaos apparently is aware of some Easter eggs that no one else heard about, and suddenly, it's like, oh, get her back on there, and she starts showing everybody how to do it, and I'm sitting there like, yep, that's my wife. She kicked your motherfucking ass.
Yeah, she said something, and I paused the game, and me and Air Force Shields just looked back at her like, what the fuck? I'd heard that, but I didn't know it was true.
And then we learned how soothing the segue music is on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's actually quite soothing. Bum 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 ba. And we left that on for a little while. That's party music in and of itself. And we're just hanging out.
To play.
Yeah, and I'm sitting looking at this room. I'm like, this is like the shabbiest room ever. Because they use the same baby blue wall color on the walls in this room.
That I have on my room?
Different.
That color? Oh.
Not quite the same. And I'm like, well, I'm nervous because, it's like I kind of want to smoke a cigarette. I don't recommend smoking, but, you can't open the windows. You can't fucking do anything. We go in the bathroom. And I look, and there is like a fucking prison toilet in the bathroom. You've seen it. And
I walked in there and walked directly out.
Yeah.
It was the only thing that this bathroom is used for is smoking weed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
That's what the people were doing in there, and that's the best thing you can possibly do in there.
That's it.
And so I'm standing around, and I hear, and I'm like, oh, somebody else. Now I'm not gonna be like, oh, bitches, it ain't like that. I'm like, oh, now what? Sure enough, the same bald motherfucker,
same security guard,
totally opposing side of the building.
That fucking guy too. He's like, didn't I talk to you guys last night?
And that's what I thought. I was like, are we the only people having fun in this fucking hotel? And then we get the spiel about how this is a warning, and we're going to get another warning, and then a warning after that, and then people are going to have to... And I'm like, I do not fucking believe this. I have been threatened. I've been to Las Vegas a dozen times, and this is the first time, 2 nights in a row, that I got threatened to be kicked out of a hotel for having fun.
For talking.
God
forbid you talk.
And our Rob78, I'm going to throw him under the bus. He's like, Kaos, you need to quit yelling. And I'm like, Rob, why don't you calm down until you have something funny to say?
Ha.
And then and Mr. Riley's like, oh. And, but, Rob been drinking, so whatever.
Obnoxious.
Yeah. But,
there was Fireball over there. There was beers over here.
Yeah.
There was weed in the bathroom. I never went.
Yeah. And so we were partying down, and then everyone's like, oh, what are you guys going to do tomorrow? And everyone tells me, now I was the only one dumb enough to have a hotel room for the next night because I thought everyone was going to stay. Everyone's leaving Sunday. And like, so I got to be in this fucking hole with nobody, all by myself. And so that was essentially the end of the trip. And anyway, so... Mr. Riley, I know I've bitched and complained. Can you give me? Did you have any highlights of the Classic Gaming Expo?
You know what? The exhibitor floor, or whatever you want to call it,
or the vendor floor.
It was fucking horrible. Okay, look, we had a table that Berman had paid for, and he was cool with letting us sell stuff as long as we kicked it
Wait, that
down.
was Bourbon's table?
That was
See,
Berman's
I
table.
thought it was Luke's table because Luke was the one wheeling and dealing and shit.
No, Berman paid for the table, and it was just like, hey, I'm just gonna get a table. If you guys want to sell it, just kick me a couple bucks or whatever, and you sell whatever whatever you want. I I went in with the thinking that, oh, it's a convention. There will be there'll be a couple stores there that are wanting retail for shit. I don't like paying retail for shit. I want to get under retail because I'm a cheap bastard.
I just
Um,
don't understand the idea of retail existing for antique electronics.
Retail. Well, it's eBay. eBay retail.
Well,
Very
eBay is another
responsive.
word for crazy.
Yeah, it's true. But I swear to God, I saw this one booth. Uh, they had a lot of boxed NES games, but I'm sorry, Trojan's not worth $100 boxed. I don't give a
Were they
shit.
asking $100 for?
$100, and they were like, oh, but we had it priced yesterday for 119, and I was like, well, you're not gonna sell it. I'll give you 35 for it, and they're like, no, that's not enough. I was like, oh, fuck it, then sorry. We we the us at the table, we were making the. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything, but we had people telling us we had lines. We had people telling us this we're getting the best deals for our money here. I was selling games like fucking dirt cheap. SoCal Mike was there and he was selling shit. He was selling NES games for like $5. He was selling shit that like $20 games for 5-10 bucks. You know?
Yeah, it seems like you guys kind of took on the what they call the Portland approach. Is like people are actually trying to sell shit here,
Yeah.
as opposed to just letting it sit. Because there was I don't want to give anybody. Okay, the Super Video Game Brothers.
Okay.
I think it was Super Video Game Brothers that had a loose copy of Contra for $55.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
And a box copy of Super Mario Brothers Black Box, kind of beat up for $50. And I said, "Do you think you're on the internet, dude?" Because
Listen, I passed up at the swap meet the day I bought that Donkey Kong Jr. Math.
mm-hmm.
I passed up a boxed black box Super Mario Brothers for $30, and it was in much better condition than that one that they were selling for 50.
Yeah.
And I passed it up.
Well, it's once again, everyone thinks they're trading gold here. It was just,
Yeah.
it was a really sad state of affairs. And I remember, as soon as we got back, you and I talked about this, and I said, "Is this the decline of the retro game scene?"
It's about to crumble.
I don't know so much that it's about to crumble, but I think that all of the
price wise.
yeah, the complacency, all of this, the money making aspect is about to collapse in on itself.
Yeah.
Especially with the virtual console,
Mm.
because that's doing that.
Well,
And
we saw that with Earthbound when Nintendo released that on the Virtual Console about a year ago. The fucking price dropped a lot, and
substantially.
That's a game that I don't like. But honestly, if I had the money, if I had if I hit the fucking Powerball last week, that might be one of the first games I buy because I think it's cool to have that game complete because it's a large box. It's got the fucking strategy guide in the game. I think it's a cool thing. I mean, I understand. I don't I don't like the game. It's just a whatever game to me, but I think that would be cool to have. That's an actual collectible to have the large box. It's just like Donkey Kong Jr. Math. It's a $30 game loose. It's an $800 game boxed because it's a $30 piece of cardboard or a 30-year-old piece of cardboard that nobody fucking kept. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
So,
that I totally gather, and just like I'm still pissed off at my mom for throwing away all that shit when we were kids. What do you need the box for? Because it might make me a millionaire, Mom.
right?
Well, at least that's what these fuckers think. But it was a sad state of affairs, and I really hope that our scene can turn this thing around. And well,
Honestly though, I could give a shit less if the financial or the monetary parts collapses because it's not fucking about money. Why the fuck is Chrono Trigger $100? Why the fuck is Contra $30 on a regular basis? I see this shit all the time, and I understand that there's this lady at the swap meet that we go to, and she runs a store, so but she does deals too.
mhm.
So does she sell Contra for $30? No, but she does sell it for 20. But she does have to make money, and I understand it. But there's also this store local to us that this guy, I don't fucking know what his issue is, but he used to own I think 4 or 5 stores in a couple of counties local to us, and he has lost all the stores but one, and
You're
all
talking about
the
Games for Less, aren't you?
possibly,
Yeah.
maybe, is it by the Best Buy?
There used to be, yeah. There used to be
No,
quite a
that's the
few.
one. That's the only one left. The one by the Best
That one's
Buy,
still
and
there?
it's the only one left.
I didn't know it was still there. I thought that one
Yeah,
was gone too.
it's the only one left. But all the stock from the other 4 stores are in that store. And I went in there about a year and a half ago, and I was talking to the guy. He's like, "We have shit in the back that we haven't even gone through since the stores closed." I was like, when did the last store close?" He said 2004. So like, are you fucking joking me? Can you imagine what's in the back in tubs that nobody fucking knows is there? But
Well,
they're
not
but they're overpriced. Their NES games start at
well,
$10.
not only that, you've got a bunch of carts with battery backups that haven't been charged in God knows how long. So you've probably got a bunch of plastic full of battery acid.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. But
it's amazing because these are in fact antique electronics.
they are. They are. So I don't know. Like I've considered a couple times just fucking walking in that door, asking for the owner, and saying, "Hey, look, I'll go through all your shit. I'll catalog it. I'll fucking do inventory, and you don't even have to pay me money. Just pay me in games. Just pay me in that shit that you're not getting fucking money for."
Dude, you call me and I'll be there.
I know. It's only a 2-hour drive.
Yeah, no, you call me on the phone. I'll come. We could knock it out in an afternoon. We
Right?
might
Well,
get we
no,
might get like pox or something though.
we might. We might.
We might be overcome by silverfish. But we'll do what we
That's a
can.
possibility. That's a
Yeah.
possibility.
But now, in closing, and then we'll take some questions shortly. So please have your questions ready if you have any, and if you guys don't, that's okay too. We'll hope to see you next time here on the program. But Sean, you and I had a talk about this, and we've never really brought it out in the open. But what would it take to get you to the next Classic Gaming Expo?
Working arcade cabs.
That's always important.
Look,
Yes.
I went there with the like I. There's a group that SC3. You've heard of it,
I
right?
am familiar. Yes.
Okay, they do meetups twice a year, and one of the meetups, the one that they do in November, is at one of the guys' houses uh, over here in Upland, and he collects arcade cabinets, and he just puts them all in his backyard, and so they're all set on free play. I had more fun there than I did at this fucking arcade at CG. It was horrible. The one, like, it was a lot of. They had every console set up, which was cool. Excuse me. So they had like in television, every home console that's pretty much ever been made up to like last generation. I don't think they had a Xbox 360, PS3, shit like that. But I think everything prior to that, they had represented. So there was a lot of fucking TVs. But the arcade cabinets were very. There was a few pinball machines, and I didn't give a shit about any of them.
They were pretty lackluster pinball tables. They were.
Yeah, they were just whatever. Like there wasn't even a Terminator 2. But like the Marvel vs. Capcom machine, the left stick was sticky, and 2 of the buttons didn't work, and then the right one, like 2 of the punch buttons and 1 of the kick buttons didn't work. Like, how the fuck, as a collector, do you pull your shit out and not test it? I've been to fucking shitty amusement park arcades that take better care of their stuff than what they had there. I was very disappointed because I went looking to buy and sell games and play arcade cabs, and I did one of those. So if they do it again, it needs to be in a better place. It was kind of, well, it probably won't be at the Riviera again.
Chances are not. If they did, that'd be really impressive.
Well, unless they did it, well, yeah.
They do it in a field.
They do it tomorrow. They might be able to.
Yeah, the things that I said was, they got to look at the panel situation. They, it almost seems like, because I'll be perfectly honest. Las Vegas is a much shorter drive than Portland, and Las Vegas has other things to do than Portland, and that's why the Classic Gaming Expo has always won out against the retro game. What do they call it? The Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
Yeah.
It's always won out against that, and there have been people that have asked me, "Am I going to go to, to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo?" And I don't know. I really want to. I want to have a good feeling about one of these game conventions? Because I've heard other people go and have a great time, and why is this not happening to me? These
Right.
are the things I wonder. So they've got to do a lot. They've got to get arcade cabinets that work. They need to do something about the panel situation. The cosplay things needs to be more than just tacked on for the sake of being tacked on. And the sales floor, as I've said before, it seems like they didn't even have the support of the local game retailers. Now, most of the local game retailers in Las Vegas, like most of the business outlets in Las Vegas, are a bunch of fucking scumbags. But there's got to be cooperation on some level, and that's what it will take for this thing to thrive. So, we hope they get their shit together, and if they do, you'll see myself and Mr. Riley, tearing it up once again. We hope to turn this thing around.
I'm not paying attention. My son is asking me for socks. I'm paying attention, but I can't. I gotta stand up. Sorry.
All right. Well, feel free. But now it's time to go for the. Now it's time to go to our comment section and see what people are asking. Jam Master C wants to know what are the top games I'm hyped for this year. Star Fox on the Wii U, The Legend of Zelda on the Wii U, and Splatoon on the Wii U. So those are 3 games that I am superbly hyped for. And for those of you asking, no, I don't give a shit that 1886 The Order is only fucking 4 hours long. I don't care. I'm not surprised. It's the same. I don't understand how you thought that a first-person shooter, but with steampunk, was going to somehow be better.
But it's steampunk.
Really, motherfucker?
Not me. I don't give a shit about that fucking shit.
So that's the Wii U is where it's at. I don't give a shit what anybody says. You can talk about sales figures all you want, but the Wii U is where it's at, and those 3 games for me are what's going to dominate this year. You say, Mr. Riley?
I'm playing this.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I've never played it before.
Are you playing it on your GameCube or on your Game Boy Advance? Ah, classy.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Let me see here.
I did just get a GameCube though.
You did get a GameCube? Really?
I got it for fucking. I got a fucking deal on a GameCube. Local Facebook group. I traded a PS2, a copy of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, and I got a GameCube, 1 controller, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario Strikers, and a Japanese copy of Wave Race.
Wow, that's pretty. What the hell? That's pretty cool. That is super cool. Anyway, let me see here. Kit171 asked, "Do I have a favorite cereal mascot, and if not, a favorite cereal?" Cereal mascot.
Wendell the Baker.
I always liked? What's that, Mr. Riley?
Wendell the Baker.
Wendell the Baker. Oh, from the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Toast Crunch.
The one that ate the other chefs.
Yep, he did.
Okay. All right. I would say the one that really sticks out for me is Sugar Bear from, I think it's called Golden Crisp now. It used to be called Sugar Crisp.
Yeah, he's fucking cracked out.
Used as a pejorative now. For me, him, because you could tell that cat is high and grooving all the time.
High as fuck.
Walking around with no fucking pants on. Can't get enough of that Golden Crisp.
He gives no shits about anything.
No, none at all. Mr. Riley, your favorite cereal mascot?
My favorite cereal is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I was joking about Wendell the Baker, though. Count Chocula doesn't count. Neither does none of those. Those guys are seasonal. Fuck those guys. Favorite mascot? Oh, the fucking Cookie Crook. How about that? Before they had that
I was going to bring up the Cookie Crook and the Cookie Cop.
I forgot about the cop too, but before they had that fucking wolf, they had an actual crook. And,
well, there was the dog too. There was the Cookie Crook's dog.
Is that the wolf now?
No, well they changed it. So he wears the same outfit as the Cookie Crook's dog, but he's a wolf now. And I don't understand. I guess because dogs bay at the moon too. I guess because the dog was fat, and I guess they don't want to communicate that their cereal makes you fat. But
what?
Right. But that's what it is. That's excellent selection. Excellent selection. A lot of people say Tony the Tiger, but Tony the Tiger represents a weak ass cereal. Frosted Flakes should be called Frosted Mush. Just like Life cereal should be called Mush cereal.
Yep.
I want to believe in Frosted Flakes, but Frosted Flakes ruins your fucking teeth, and there's nothing flaky about it.
I saw some love for fucking Toucan Sam in the in the.
Oh,
But where's the
Toucan
love?
Sam's the man.
Where's the love for fucking Lucky? Lucky the
Lucky is a
Leprechaun.
bitch.
God damn it! No, he's not. He's a fucking crack fiend who needs his fix, and he needs his goddamn marshmallows. Just give him his fucking horseshoes. That's it. That's all he wants. He just wants his fucking horseshoes.
Let me see here. Splicer83 wants to know what group what is this group that you're a part of, Mr. Riley?
It's a local group.
It's a local group, so it won't matter. And if you
It doesn't matter. Unless you live down the street from me, it doesn't matter. And honestly, why would I give up my secrets?
No kidding, right? And also, if you're thinking about joining a Facebook group, I recommend joining the Hate Bit Podcast Network of Hate over there on Facebook. Check it out.
Do it. It's
a lot of good.
It's full of hate.
There's a lot of people who apparently have nothing better to do, and we thank them for it. Let me see here.
We got some Captain Crunch love. What about who else? Fucking God damn it! Now you know what's gonna happen, right? After this show is over, I'm gonna fall into a YouTube rabbit hole of fucking 80s and 90s cereal commercials.
And then you're gonna go to the store and you're gonna douse yourself into like a sugar coma after having a bunch of cereal.
I'm too drunk. I can't go anywhere.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're just gonna eat all the kids' cereal, aren't you?
Maybe.
That's the spirit.
PsychDocs469 said, Count Chocula or the fucking Fruit Brute. No, you cannot work seasonal and be part of this list. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. You have to be a full-time employee, and or get the fuck out.
You know what? I'm gonna go along with that. Yeah, that rules out Blueberry and Frankenberry.
All them fuckers.
Yeah, they go to sleep during fucking, they're only around for, they're sleeping for like 10 months out of the year.
Listen, you're a fucking monster. Look, if Sugar Bear doesn't sleep and he's a fucking bear, then those guys should not be sleeping.
That's the truth. That's the truth. I can't argue with that. Somebody asked me what's the most expensive game I own. Well, when you say expensive, you're implying the price that I paid. The most expensive game I ever paid for was Super Mario. What was it? New Super Mario Brothers U, because that was like almost $65 after sales tax and all that stuff. But I think the most retail expensive game. The highest valued or expensive game, I think, is like Hotel Mario, which goes for almost $100 on CDI in some instances, which is nowhere near what that game is worth. That is just an okay game for a very speculated price. Mr. Riley, is there any expensive games that you still have that you haven't sold to Syphic?
Shit. He got all my fucking expensive games. You know what? I really don't go for, like we were talking about before, I don't go for value anymore, what the value of shit is. But I think I have Einhander. Well, I know I have Einhander, and that's probably going to be my most expensive game. But I only buy games that I want to play, or that I enjoyed when they were new or whatever. Shit, that's probably it.
Yeah, I'm not the kind. Oh, go.
I have owned Donkey Kong Jr. Math, and it would be hard for anybody to own a higher priced game than that.
I'm sure they're out there. There's people that had that goddamn stadium events thing, and well, we all know about that.
Nobody watching this video.
Kit71 wants to know why there's no love for Quaker Oats. I like Quaker Oats. I'm a big fan of the Quaker O's myself.
Because he's Amish.
Oh, is that why? Well, no, they're Quakers.
No, okay, but that's true. Never mind.
Yeah, Quaker and Amish are two different things. They're similar, but not quite the same.
Xenoblade Chronicles. That's a good game.
Oh, that's a good one.
But, I think I do own that.
What's that?
I think I own that. I think I have that.
I don't own that one. I'll get it when the prices fall because, for those of you who don't know, myself and Mr. Riley, we have a similar mantra when it comes to collecting retro games. When you see all this high-priced bullshit on the eBay, we have a similar war cry. I can wait just as long as you can. The difference is this is sitting in your brick-and-mortar store waiting for someone to be stupid enough to buy it. I'll wait when no one cares anymore. Right, Mr. Riley?
And it's followed by a Swift.
There you go.
And that's it.
That's the spirit. Jonathan Hall wants to know, has a game ever made you jump on the couch like Tom Cruise? John, are you making an Oprah Winfrey reference? because I was old enough to have lived through that. I don't know what your excuse is, but jump on the couch? Lots of things make me jump on the couch. It's usually women folk. But no, I can't. Well, I'm sure there was. I remember Resident Evil 2 was pretty goddamn exciting back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, let me see here. There was another question and I missed it.
What was it about?
PTZ427 says I hate Metallica. I don't hate Metallica. I don't even know the guys in Metallica. I just know that I hate Saint Anger.
Yep.
That's the real way I put it, because it's interesting. I was thinking about this the other day. People always want me to badmouth the later Metallica releases, but the later Metallica releases they're talking about, or recent Metallica releases, were 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
A long time ago. And people always
Fuel
badmouth the
Load
and the Reload album as being alternative rock. But I'll tell you what, the songs on both of those records have aged far better than almost any alternative rock track from the 90s that you can name. I don't know how that worked out. Maybe they've aged better compared to the Saint Anger material.
I still like Alice in Chains. I'll still listen to Alice in Chains.
Well, Alice in Chains is a fucking metal band that just accidentally got lumped into the alternative rock thing.
But they kind of with Dirt, they kind of embraced the whole alternative thing.
Well, I mean, when there's suddenly food on your table,
That's true. That's true.
Sometimes you gotta go with the flow. Like if suddenly there was money in being in the Hate Bit podcast, you'd see a lot more Hate Bit podcast merchandise. I swear to you.
Yep.
It's not about selling out. It's about if you can find a way to put food in your belly, you kind of gotta go with it sometimes. So, Jonathan Hall wants to know what lesser games do I feel that deserve more attention. I think every video game deserves more attention because the only fucking games you hear about anymore are Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed and Need for Speed.
I want to know what he thinks Jonathan, tell me, what's your definition of a lesser game? What does that even mean? Like a game that just doesn't I don't get it. What does that mean? Like
I really think something that's left out is a lot of these kids. There's some nice kids who come, and I don't mean to be condescending or but folks younger than us, younger than myself at least, that it seems like they're inundated with this internet bullshit from IGN and Kotaku and Destructoid, leading you down the primrose path, leading you to believe that only these games that we say are important are important. All video games are important.
AAA titles.
AAA titles, exactly. All video games are important. So I think that every video game deserves attention because what you don't realize is even those shitty games that you love to shit all over and hate, somebody spent years of their life, with the exception of E.T. E.T. is the sole exception.
Fuck that game.
To that.
I hate that game.
But these games take years of people's lives, and the least you could do is look at them. I'm not saying you got to spend money on them, but if you see a game for cheap, check it out. It might be cool. That all games deserve time and appreciation. Mr. Riley, you were saying?
Have you ever played Trojan on the NES?
Have I ever played Trojan on the NES?
Have you ever played Trojan on the NES?
Yes, once. Once was enough.
Right? I fucking love that game. I don't know what it is. The music is really good. Maybe that's what makes me play it all the time. But it is a pretty bad game. But I love that game. That's a game that I own it. Oh, yeah, somebody just said, Kit171 says Rise of the Robots is worse. That's bad.
I dare you to argue with him.
No, I can't. Rise of the Robots, or what the fuck was that? There was another game for the Sega Genesis that was in that same vein. I'm going to find it right now. I'm going to find it.
While you do that, let me peruse through these comments a little bit because... let me see. There was
Zero Divide is not worse than Rise of the Robots.
Tyler Bora, who's been a long time proponent of the Hate Bit podcast.
Hi, Tyler.
And the Yellkaos program, asks whatever happened to those shirts that the ones with the hand embroidered shirts. I've never thought to release those. Those were actually kind of expensive to make, and I've there's a lot of people that have seen that denim vest that I have with that hand embroidered vest that I have with the Hate Bit podcast logos, in which is really my flag when I go out to conventions and video game events. I wear my vest so people can find me easily. That way if you guys want to have a talk, because I find that when I go to these game events, I go to the Nintendo events at Comic-Con and to the Smash Brothers events around, to the tournaments, and everyone just hides from each other. It's like, what did you go and to be around other people just to hide from each other? I put a big flag on my back, so if you want to come to have somebody to talk to, you come and you talk to me. That's what I've always tried. Our scene will not survive if we don't communicate with one another and be, and you don't have to be friends with everybody, but we are in this community together, and if we don't commiserate together, and if we don't conversate, this scene will not last. So, but anyway, back to that vest. It was really expensive to make, and that's why I've never offered them, because I think they would be like, to just to offer them, they'd be, just so I can make my money back, they'd be close to $100, and I know nobody is going to pay $100 to have a denim vest with my logo on it. Nobody. So
Nope.
That's why I've never offered them. Custom jobs, on the other hand, if you want one that badly, I can look into it, and I'll get back to you. But understand that, custom-made merchandise is just expensive, and I don't expect you guys, unlike some people who shall remain nameless, who think that you've got just, money coming out of your ears to throw out these cheap-ass T-shirts. Again, I'm not going to name names, but you know who they are, that seem to think that you can just spend this money all the time. And I don't expect you guys to support me with overpriced merchandise because, again, making merchandise is expensive, and I don't expect you guys to foot the bill. Mr. Riley, what were you saying?
Out.
Oh, okay. Mr. Riley, though, he's going to get his very own shirt very soon because he asked me nicely, but that's probably the wrong reason to do anything. Anyway, shoot, we are towards the end of the hour, so we're going to get in a few more questions, and then we're going to get the hell out of here, and we thank you guys for stopping by. Also, I forgot to plug earlier on in the program, down below, there is some information that you can follow myself and Mr. Riley on the Twitter, on the Facebook, on the YouTube, all that stuff, so please check us out, and once again, please follow us on the social media, because the YouTube sub box, and when you want to see these programs, is apparently not doing its job anymore. So you can get all the alerts and anything you'll ever need right there on your social media, provided that Facebook and all that stuff still work.
It's right there.
So yeah. No,
there it is.
Are you? Oh, sorry, Mr.
There.
Riley. Yeah, you can find him at that address at PlayStation and Facebook.com/PlayStation. So please check him out on that.
I say weird shit. Don't get offended.
Yeah, don't get it if you're easily offended. Kit171 wants to know, are there 4 lights? I'm not picking up on that reference, Kit. Help me out. What does that mean? Jam Master C says, when is the hate bit coming back? Very soon. We just got to get a few more kinks ironed out. There's a scheduling issue, as there always is, because that's just the nature of the internet, and I'm terribly sorry, but we'll be back very soon. I promise. And Nicholas Kennedy wants to know, how do I feel about Nicholas Kennedy, longtime supporter of the Yellkaos program, says, how do I feel about celebrities being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? I think Pete Rose deserved it, and Bob Uecker deserved it. I don't know if Bob Uecker's been inducted yet, but I think Bob Uecker deserves it because he did a good job. And Pete Rose has taken a tombstone pile driver at least like 7 or 8 times.
Yep.
That's got to be worth something.
He deserves it. I don't know that what's his name? Who they induct? Oh, Mike Tyson. Hey, he was there for like 2 months.
I don't know if he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think Mr. T deserves it either. But what are you gonna do? Let me see.
Mr. T was WrestleMania 1 though, right?
He was ran WrestleMania 2, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Rocky 3. How about that?
And Rocky 3.
How about that? Beautiful.
I wish more. You know what I wish? I wish more wrestling heels would watch Rocky 3 to see what a fucking heel is supposed to do. If you're an independent professional wrestler and you want to know how to get heat, just do everything that Clubber Lang did in Rocky 3.
That's it.
That is what professional wrestling has been missing for almost 20 years. Genuine heat.
Want to know how not to do it? Watch anything the Big Show has ever done.
That's a very good good example. Because I remember Mrs. Yellkaos and I, we watched Rocky all the way through from Rocky 1 to Rocky 4. Haven't gotten around to the other 2 yet. And by the time Rocky 4 is barely a movie. Rocky 3 is almost a movie.
Rocky 4 is the 80s in boxing movie form.
Yeah, it's like 2 fights, 3 montages, and a nice
Yeah.
moment with the kid.
But
But
that
Rocky
montage
3
and a
like
robot.
made me really mad at Mr. T because that's how you get heat. If you want to know how to get heat, even on the internet, just do everything Clubber Lang did. Talk about people's mothers and talk
Yep.
about people's wives, and that will get you where you need to be. So with that having been said, folks, that's it. I thank you for tuning in. Thank you very much. That's it for Monday Night Chaos. We hope to see you next week. I've been the intrepid Yellkaos. Joining me has been all the way from the Game Vein podcast and now helping me out here, Mr. Sean Riley. Sean, say goodbye to the nice people.
Goodbye. Well, where are they?
Huh? They're somewhere else.
Oh, goodbye, nice people.
And we
Follow me
thank
on the
you.
tweets and the
Okay,
fucking.
yeah. And don't forget, follow Mr. Riley at PlayStation. And I want to remind you that I have been Yellkaos. You guys have been great, and I hope I can count on your vote in 2020 for President of the United States. Thank you very much. You guys have a good night, and we'll see you
I'm
next
voting
time.
for Roseanne again, so you're not getting my vote.
That's all right. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.